Hi everyone, I'm Nick, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the Sony SRS XB30, which came out recently, to one of my favorite Bluetooth speakers, the JBL Charge 3, which has been out for about a year now. These two speakers are very similar in terms of size and features. The Sony SRS XB30 goes for $149, and same for the JBL Charge 3, although you can typically find that on sale for $129 or less. There are links below if you want to check the current price or pick one of these speakers up. But let's take a look at the design and features, and I'll have some sound tests so you can hear how they compare. I also have full reviews of each, so if you're interested in that, you can check those out. In terms of what you get with the speaker, each comes with a charger, which is nice, something you don't always get. The Charge 3 comes with a micro USB cable and a wall adapter, while the Sony comes with an AC adapter, so you always need that to charge, while you could use a phone charger for the Charge 3. The Sony and JBL are very close in size and weight. The Sony's just slightly wider by a little over half an inch, and weighs a little more by 180 grams. You can see how close in size they are side by side. Both feel extremely well made and high quality. The Sony's covered in a mix of textured and smooth plastic that has a really nice feel to it. There are two front-facing drivers and a passive radiator on the front with a metal speaker grille, and another passive radiator on the rear covered by a smaller metal grille. There's a light ring on the front with two strobing white lights. The lights will cycle colors and pulse to your music, and you can choose from a few different color preset modes or select a single color using the mobile app. The lighting's nice and bright, but if it's not your thing, you can easily disable the lights by holding down the extra bass button. The Charge 3 is wrapped in a durable fabric and plastic. There are also two front-facing drivers here with a passive radiator on each end of the speaker. The Sony's water resistant, so it'll be protected from splashes of water, but it's not meant to be fully submerged. The Charge 3 is fully waterproof, so you could use this at the beach or near a pool and not have to worry about it falling in the water. So if you need a speaker that's truly waterproof, then go with the Charge 3. Otherwise, both speakers feel durable and well made, the buttons feel great on both, and neither has anything that feels cheap about them. Moving on to some of the features, both have a power bank built in, so each has a USB port on the rear that you can use to charge your phone. Definitely a great feature that's not found on many other speakers this size or price. Battery life is pretty similar here as well. The Sony's rated for up to 24 hours, but that's with the lights off. I was able to get over 20 hours with the lights on at about 75% volume. The Charge 3 is rated at 20 hours, and I was able to get almost 20 at 75% volume. The other thing to point out with the Sony is that the volume gets limited to about 50% once it gets down to 20% battery. So for your last few hours of battery life, it won't get as loud. Both are pretty similar when it comes to Bluetooth and pairing. You can connect each to 3 devices at the same time and take turns playing music between them. Both will allow you to connect an additional speaker to use as a left and right channel for stereo playback. You can also hook up more of these speakers together for simultaneous playback. The Sony has NFC, which is a feature the JBL doesn't have. So if your phone has NFC, you can just tap it to the top of the speaker to connect. Both have a mic for voice calls, call quality is great on both, and both can also bring up Google or Siri in your phone with the press of a button. Now when it comes to the sound quality, there isn't a clear winner here. Both sound great, and with the dual passive radiators in each speaker, both produce nice deep bass. The Sony has 48mm drivers, but Sony doesn't state the power. The JBL has 50mm drivers powered at 10 watts each. These two speakers have a very similar sound with only some minor differences, and I honestly don't think the average person is going to notice too much of a difference. The Sony can produce slightly deeper bass with a bit more impact, and you'll notice the kick drum a little more on the Sony. You can toggle the extra bass on and off, but I found leaving it on all the time sounds better. Turning it off just makes it sound a little thin. The Charge 3 has cleaner mids, and the vocals are more forward compared to the Sony. The JBL has more clarity in the highs as well, but the difference is subtle. Both can get equally as loud, but the vocals sound a little harsh on the Charge 3 at full blast when compared to the Sony. The Sony at full blast sounds a little smoother and more balanced. Each speaker has its strengths, but where Sony gets the real edge is with the mobile app. The app gives you an EQ to control the bass, mids, and treble. You can give the mids a little bump and bring up the treble for a brighter sound, or tweak it to your preference. And the settings get saved to your speaker, so you don't have to have the app running, and they'll carry over to a different device as well. Here are some samples so you can hear how the speakers compare.
Dripping lights paint the sky, all because of
Both speakers sound great, and these are the two that I'd recommend to pretty much anyone. And they're pretty even when it comes to features. The Charge 3 sounds better in some aspects, but the ability to tweak the sound on the Sony is a really nice thing to have in my opinion. The water-resistant design of the Sony should be enough for most people, but if you need a speaker that you can drop in the water, then go with the Charge 3. Otherwise, I would give a very slight edge to the Sony SRS XB30 since it has the lights, NFC, and an EQ. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you like to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching.